So these last couple of days, I've been trying to learn as much as possible about Michael Porter Jr. to bring you guys this video. Of course, I already had a pretty broad knowledge about what Michael Porter brought to the game and what he's meant. But let's just say some of the facts that I learned about Michael Porter Jr. were just downright scary. Porter was an absolute phenom in high school, embarrassing everybody in his path. He was explosive yet crafty. But perhaps most importantly, he could shoot lights out. At 6'10", 6'11", we're talking about somebody that could take over a game from any spot on the court. An ultra rare talent that drew comparisons to one of the best scorers in the game today, Kevin Durant. You know what? Scratch that. We're talking about one of the best scorers of all time. Unfortunately, I've seen the Kevin Durant comparison thrown around a lot, especially on high school athletes. So naturally, I feel like some people took the comparison with a grain of salt. But Porter was different. You can say Porter was arguably the best player in his class, but I'm not going to lie, the class was kind of crazy. The 2017 recruiting class is no doubt going to shape the future of the NBA as we know it. And I feel that you could say the same for Porter's NBA draft class. I actually think you can argue that he can be one of the best players, if not the best player in that class. If Porter never gets injured, there's a good chance that he goes number one, which is scary to think about. I have to commend the Denver Nuggets. They've been one of the best drafting teams that I think I may have ever seen. This Nuggets team knows talent when it sees it. It's a team that's drafted so well in the past that I think they're comfortable taking a shot on a big-time player. I think we'll look back on the selections of Michael Porter Jr. and Bol and think, what were the other teams in the NBA thinking at this time? The Nuggets are so young, they're so deep, that I think they actually have role players on their team, good young role players that could be stars or potential stars for other teams in the NBA. In college, you guys remember how Michael Porter Jr. got injured, right? And how he didn't exactly look the same following that injury returning to Mizzou. It turns out that's actually natural, and a somewhat full recovery should have been expected all along, but just not so fast exactly. The major risk for Porter is in re-injury. He has a 10 to 12% chance over the next 5 to 10 years of being re-injured. Let's be blunt here. Injuries suck. Porter said he thought about quitting basketball. There were times I was ready to give up. There were just some really, really tough, dark days. I'm not going to lie. But he didn't. He didn't give up. And he's came back looking better than ever. This video, we're going to be talking about just how good Michael Porter Jr. and this Denver Nuggets team can be. But before we get into that, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications, guys. You won't want to miss another D-Coop video. And that's facts. How could we let somebody that was a projected #1 overall pick almost fall out of the lottery? I don't know if you guys could tell, but I was really excited to make this video. Michael Porter Jr. is one of my favorite players. Seeing how he fits in with the Nuggets this season is going to be really interesting. In my time watching Michael Porter Jr., I noticed in almost every set the Nuggets ran that Michael Porter Jr. would be spaced to the corner. And it kind of sucked to watch this because I felt like he was being taken out of his true element. I feel like though he could give you elite off-ball play, I think Michael Porter Jr. is best with the ball in his hands, and I think the Kevin Durant comparisons are somewhat fair. We're talking about an electric scorer here, who's not shying away from anybody. I think the spacing to the corner, though, may be good early on for Michael Porter Jr. After the amount of time he missed, it's really just good to see him getting acclimated to the NBA atmosphere. Though Porter Jr. wasn't the focal point at all of the offense, it didn't stop him from making an impact. Michael Porter was every inch of 6'10" or 6'11". He did a fantastic job of using his size to his advantage. Whenever somebody was switched onto him or just not big enough to guard him, he would use the opportunity to dive into the paint and seal his defender. And when he set his mind to it, he got deep. He has a big catch radius and good hands. He also used his size to get whatever shot he wanted. If he knew he could shoot over you, he was going to do it. If he knew he could create his own shot, he was going to get that shot. He showed me that in the NBA, he's going to be a big-time shot maker. He's going to be somebody you want with the ball in their hands in the final moments. He also looked like an elite rebounder at the forward position. He was down there banging with the bigs. Even if he didn't get the board, what he was doing is he was keeping possessions alive. He was giving his team and other teammates opportunities to get that board. His ability to simply get a hand in there was ridiculous. He also was down there in the paint blocking shots like a big. I'm talking about like Anthony Davis style. It's a lot less surprising when you take into account that he has the same standing reach as Anthony Davis. Yeah, I was kind of shocked too. He's a perimeter player that plays big, that actually plays to his size. Players were scared to shoot the ball when Michael Porter Jr. was in the paint. He would block a shot and then sprint down the length of the floor and get a putback on the other end. we're looking at somebody that could potentially be the ultimate chess piece, the ultimate mismatch. It seemed like the Nuggets were running almost no plays for Michael Porter Jr., but again, that didn't stop him from being effective. That didn't stop him from having an impact on the game. I think this Nuggets team is going to be fantastic for many years to come. And I wouldn't be shocked at all if they were the 1 seed this season. I look forward to seeing Michael Porter Jr. play more with Jokic. I think Jokic and Michael Porter Jr. could be a filthy combination. If you're open with the Joker, he's going to find you. The most dynamic post playmaker in the league. And at 24 years old, he's only getting better. Let's also not sleep on Jamal Murray, who at 22 years old has averaged over 18 points a game. This young core has everything you could ask for. They have playoff experience, they have shooting, they have a drive to be great, and potential all-stars at almost every position. The more this team grows together, the nastier they'll become. And when they finally truly unleash Michael Porter Jr., let's just say it'll be worth the wait. Be sure to click the video on the screen right now, guys. It'll bring you to my last video, which was me talking about the Lakers, Dwight Howard, and LeBron James, Anthony Davis, all that. I'm D Coop. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'm out.